Okay, what's up, guys? I have not streamed in like 5-ish days because I've had some friends visit IRL, so I've been doing a little vacation, and I thought, since I haven't streamed in like 5 days, honestly, I should give you guys a YouTube video. Okay, and today's video, if not evident by title and thumbnail, is going to be about the Lethality Caitlyn build, which does not seem to be going anywhere. There have not really been any changes. In fact, static got buffed and is getting nerfed again, but it doesn't really change how this build will function. I'm going to teach you guys how I play it. Okay, let's ignore the win rates. Let's ignore the win rate here, guys. Just pretend you didn't see it. I'm going to teach you guys how I play it. And in doing so, we will also cover video requests by chat, which is how to play laning phase Diamond Plus and what it takes to hit Masters. Okay, so these two topics will also be covered, if at least briefly. If I don't cover them, you can flame me in the comments below. Also, hopefully my mic isn't too loud. Let me see if I can kind of fix this. But yeah, I guarantee you, if you watch this entire video, you will understand how to play this build and pilot it. Okay, you will be able to understand what you're supposed to be doing with this and how to carry with this. Okay, that's the ultimate goal. And so we're looking at a game from 400-ish LP on Chicken Little, and it is this game where we went 21-5. Okay, and so let's get started. The things that we're kind of like gonna be looking at here are gonna be relevant for, of course, the people. Okay, so what I realized about my channel is that we have a lot of viewers that actually don't play that many games of ranked. Okay, so what I mean by that is they play maybe 5-6 games a week because they have work or something. So basically, I need to give you guys 30 little tips for you to just win games. Okay, that's apparently you guys don't have infinite amount of time to practice, right? You can only play one champion. You play 3 games a day, maybe. You know what I mean? So I'm just gonna literally just tell you what to do. Okay, that's the strat here. Okay, so by the time you finish this video, you will have learned something. I promise you. I don't care what rank you are, you will have learned something. If at the very least, you have gained some insight into how I specifically play Caitlyn. Okay, so one thing you'll notice with runes is that we are taking lethal tempo, despite the fact that we're building collector Duskblade. Okay, and the reason being is that in the solo queue, actually in League, honestly, nowadays, the meta, or I guess the state of the game is very short. Like, the game time is very short. Okay, the game can be won within the first 10 to 15 minutes. About, I want to say 70% of the time. Unironically, it's actually insane. Like, the game snowballs so out of control. If you are in the driver's seat, it is sometimes next to impossible for the enemy team to be able to play the game, and vice versa. Okay, first 15 minutes are giga important. That's why lethal tempo is super important for any random all-in 3v3, 2v3 skirmishes that may happen. Okay, it's got lethal tempo has great 4v5 potential, and also good potential in any even number fight that can all-in. Okay, and what you see me do here is okay, so we have Yuumi and Caitlyn versus Jhin and Heimer, right? And one way we can look at laning phase, because I know one of the topics is how to lane in Diamond Plus, is the first thing we need to do is examine what the matchup is. Okay, so I'm gonna pause here because what you just saw was big mistakes by enemy bot lane, and I want to say it's really well played by us, but a free punish by us. Okay, so you want to examine what your support wants to do and what the enemy support wants to do, and then once you figure that out, you need to figure out how to execute correctly. Okay, so let's take it step by step. So first is we examine what my support wants to do. I have Yuumi. What is Yuumi good at? She's good at poking with her Q and trading with her shield. Right, used to be heal, but infinite changes later, now it's shield. Okay, so one, we can just sit around and try and find a good angle for Yuumi to poke, and two, find a way to shield. Okay, and Heimerdinger, what is Heimerdinger good at? He's gonna poke with his rockets plus Airy, and or catch us with his nade. Okay, and so with this information, what are we supposed to do? We are supposed to trade with the Yuumi shield So we're gonna use headshot to do so because that's when we're strongest. This is our trading pattern. We get headshot ready, we go for it, or we look for a net into W or a net into Q. Okay, we have something very specific in mind. Okay, and at the same time, we're gonna avoid hammer poke. Okay, so if you watch this sequence is very important because it shows that the enemy bot lane did not know their lane matchup, and we knew our lane matchup. And then whoever knows their lane matchup better wins. Okay, so they hit level 2, they ran at us. Okay, remember they're poke and catch. Okay, so all we have to do is just trade straight up. That's it. Okay, so all we have to do is just trade. And a trade, or a definition of a trade, if you didn't know, is just you're trading away abilities and health. At least if you go evenly, you've won. Okay, pretty much. If you hit them with something, they hit with something, but we are supposed to trade because we got shields, heals, and whatnot, you've won. Okay, so if you look at this, he's trading with 4-shot, right? Which is when Jin's supposed to be strongest, but Yumi's shield beats that. Because support controls the laning phase. Support ability is going to be stronger than ADC 4-shot or ADC headshot or whatnot, right? So all we have to do is trade. And you see that while I have the shield, I just ran out Heimerdinger and traded with him, okay? Now, for laning Diamond Plus, this is like, I want to say like 75% of it, okay? Is knowing your matchup, okay? Because first is you need to know what your support wants to do. Then you want to know what the enemy support wants to do. And then it comes to execution, which is how you actually do it. How do you accomplish these trades? See, I'm using a headshot, I'm using net, we're trading away HP, and all of a sudden, it looks like they can't lane, right? All of a sudden, it actually looks like they just cannot lane because they have no HP, right? He's going to chug like all his potions right now, and I'm still going to have 2 potions left over, which means that they literally can't do anything without us just all-in. Oh, wait, I'm just going for the all-in now, right? So once you've traded enough, you're like, okay, I'm just going to kill them, which is what we do here. And of course, Lethal Temple is very good at killing them. Also, you shouldn't try and kill Heimerdinger. He has got infinite minions, right? You don't want to grief your wave or anything crazy. So you see, he who plays the laning phase better is going to accrue a 2v2 advantage. And you want to use this advantage when, okay, if you're like plan below, you just want to like focus on generating this advantage in the first place, okay? And we can talk about like wave management stuff too. But once you get this advantage, you want to translate that into a tangible lead. Okay, tangible lead being not just kills, it's waves of gold and XP on your opponent. So we're trying to crash this. Obviously the death timer is so low that he's gonna get here in time. But ideally, you try and deny XP and gold from the enemy ADC, and or you win the jungle matchup by baiting enemy jungle and allowing your jungle a turn to do something, either counter gank or counterplay, which is gank one of the other lanes. Okay, so that's what you want to do. And you see how like the game is like, my jungle actually won 2v2. My mid jungle actually won 2v2. So not only did we win bot, we also won mid. It's lit, right? This is part of the whole game. Snowballs out of control within 15 minutes. Look, 3 lanes have won. Bot, mid, jungle have won at 3 minutes in the fucking game. Okay, this is why this stuff is super important. Okay, laning first 15 minutes of the game is paramount to be able to even play the next 10 minutes out. Okay. So yeah, and then other things you can focus on. So this is the basic. Okay, so other things you can focus on in terms of laning is making sure that you know where you want the wave to be. Okay, so for example, Yumi wants to poke and trade, Heimer wants to poke and catch, poke champions really want to push so that they can poke easily, right? Also, they're just dying to a gank. You see how like things are snowballing out of control, right? Once you do one good thing, then the enemy team starts losing their mind. Like that Jin had no flash, he was trying to crash the wave while he didn't know where our jungle is, and then you just win harder. Okay, it's actually crazy. Anyway, sorry, that was a tangent. And then here we don't actually push, right? Because if you think about it, the goal is to make them lose XP and gold. If you try and shove this wave, where's my pen here? If you try and shove this wave, it's gonna take so long that by the time you get these like 3 range creeps into tower, Jin's gonna be here and he's gonna kill the 3 range creeps, right? So instead, you just pull the wave, don't touch anything, let it push to you, and he loses the entire 6 minions, and then he has to fix the wave still at your tower. He's gonna need to call his jungle or somehow outplay 2v2 or anything like that to try and get the wave in. Okay, once a very important habit. Okay, so if you don't learn anything from laning phase today, this is what you should learn, especially in the lower ranks. When somebody dies in lane, doesn't matter if it's you, your support, enemy AD, does not matter. You should figure out, okay, what do I need to do now? Someone just died. Oftentimes that will change what you're supposed to do next. Okay, let me give you an example. Actually this is the example. Yumi's about to face check this tribush. Okay, she just dies to the enemy jungle. Face checking this Heimerdinger nade plus Lee Sin. Okay, what does that mean for you? What are you supposed to do now? Okay, what does that mean? okay, on this wave, they're gonna do a thing. Okay, they're gonna do dragon, they're gonna dive you, they're gonna gank mid. One of these 3 things. Okay, and what does your jungle do? He's going top side. He doesn't give a fuck, right? Because he's camps on top side. He's like, Yumi's griefing. I really can't do anything about this. Good luck. Okay, so from this spot, when she died, that means you are playing to the worst case scenario of what they're gonna do next, which is they will dive. Okay, so now it's up to you to say, 1, can I defend the dive? What's my plan? Okay, and then 2, if you decide to defend the dive, do not trade any HP, cooldowns, abilities, mana. Do not trade anything. Okay, you need to preserve maximum health, maximum abilities. Like taking that nade damage is really bad, so that you can outplay the dive here. So here I'm like, okay, I'm deciding to defend the dive, and then now it's execution. Okay, now how do you defend the dive? You must aim the guy tanking tower. Okay, because the faster you can pressure them into dying to the tower, the faster they will de-aggro, and that will cause enemy team to make mistakes, because someone will take aggro that they didn't mean to. It happens all the time, right? Doesn't matter where rank it is, happens all the time. So you need to pressure the guy tanking tower. If you don't pressure the guy tanking tower, he will just tank tower until he's 1 HP and leave, in which case you're just going to get nothing because you're just going to die, right? So if you watch this, I'm like, okay, who's going to tank tower? Who's going to tank tower? I'm like, okay, the instant I smell something, I'm going to start using abilities. So I thought it was Heimer, so I'm using that on him, and then I switched to Lee Sin because he's going to tank tower next, right? So I got 1 for 1 with my support face checked. I'm down. The other option is just AFK and leave the tower. You can do that too. Okay, no problem with AFK and leaving the tower. No, there's really no problem with that. Sometimes that's what you have to do. Okay, just don't die for free. I don't know if you guys watch Side Talk, but don't die for free. Okay. Anyways, if you want to see how we could play this better, you'll notice that this EW is not exactly aiming a Heimer. Right, because I thought he would go this way, but he went this way. And the second is I did not pressure him with my Q. Okay, remember, we need to pressure the guy tanking tower. So if anything, I should EW and then Q, right? So a perfect play would be something like, let's say, okay, I'm just going to wait until I figure out who's tanking. Okay, I'm trapped in case Lee Sin's tanking. And then the instant I see this turret go down, I'm going to EW so it can't escape, and then I'm going to Q to where he's going. And this would be a kill on Heimer, then a kill on Lee Sin, double kill, okay? But the result was already okay. We'll take it, because Yumi's the one who griefed. Yumi's the one who made the huge mistake, and we somehow saved it. We'll take it, okay? So yeah, anyways, let's keep going. Even though after killing my support, they were able to deny me like 2-3 waves, it's massive. At least I got the kill out of it, okay, which is not bad. And I killed the jungler, which allows our jungler to do something. And in this case, it looks like our jungle is somehow baiting K'Sante into killing himself. So you see how like your actions have huge impact on the game. Your actions have consequences, guys. Like, imagine if you had died without getting anything there, and then and then your Zac is able to do this K'Sante thing, whatever. The outcome would not have been as good. Like, imagine like let's say like you're dying for free, and this K'Sante is playing. Okay, I don't know why K'Sante killed himself, but let's say K'Sante is playing safe because he knows Zac is here. Then you're just dying for free, and your jungle can't do anything. No camps to farm, like nothing. He has to try and invade or something. K'Sante's gonna go stop him. Lee Sin's gonna come counter. Azir's coming. You see what I'm saying? That's why it's very important for you to have nothing. You play bot side as perfectly as possible. Is to give your team and yourself the as much advantage as possible, because like one disaster will have a giga domino effect. Okay, I promise. And it's funny because I said there's gonna be like a Caitlyn video, but I haven't even talked anything about Caitlyn yet. So one thing you'll notice in the build is that I got a Dirk first. I thought there was a lot of fighting and that we could farm them. So early Dirk is very good for laning phase power. I would always recommend if you're in the driver's seat and or you think there's a lot of fighting, any kind of all-in lanes, right? Dirk is going to be very powerful. Here, I'm waiting to see, make sure that they are not ganking. So once Heimerdinger gets far enough away, that means he can't follow up with nade if Lee Sin's hiding in the bush, which means you can go face check it, right? I'm putting that trap there. Maybe he'll like ward hop into it, but honestly, I think that's like a 5% trap. You usually don't want to put those traps down, okay? That's not a very good trap most of the time. It's just kind of like placebo, a placebo trap. But we see Lee Sin top, which means we can start applying our matchup ideas, right? Which is we want to poke and trade, right? Well, we were supposed to be applying those ideas before, as long as we can't die. But you know what I mean? It's a lot easier to do it in their face, right? Because they don't know where Zac is. So we're going to try and poke and trade with them as much as possible. Okay? So on your tower, I'm going to walk up. I'm going to net. I'm gonna put traps down next to the tower. We can drag in, we can invade. We have all these options. Okay, I'm gonna press ulti here for sure because we are poke. Remember, like, okay, you usually don't want to just press R for fun, but because we are poke, this ulti is gonna count as poke. Okay, we're poking them, right? Damage that cannot be returned. So I'm just gonna poke them immediately, right? So I just press R immediately, and then we're Giga poking, and then all of a sudden he's just dead to lethal. One thing you should note here is that if you want to make plays on Caitlyn, well, I just hit my face just hit my mic. If you want to make plays on Caitlyn, oftentimes it begins with a net trap or headshot. Okay, so here we had headshot ready. I saw flash headshot with lethal. You flash headshot lethal. Very simple, right? And we haven't really done anything like mechanically difficult here. Although, as you can see, even though it's only been 8 minutes, all I've done is like kind of decision-making ideas. I really haven't done anything you guys can't do, unironically, okay? Hopefully you guys can do all this, but if you can't, maybe you gotta practice two of some ideas. So here, we see our jungle doing the dragon. We're like, okay, he's got it. But if you want, I'm trying to like finesse this guy, but it's probably not gonna happen. And Lee Sin's on the way, okay? Just because you saw Lee Sin top means that he's coming soon. Oh yeah, I tried to EQ him, but it didn't work out. Once you EQ fail, you should not walk up because you have no net. Agreed? So you see, I just took like infinite damage for no reason. Not very smart, but it's fine. Like after you waste EQ, I should head exact. Okay, so after I miss his EQ, obviously we can't do anything. So we should just go help secure this dragon to make sure that Lee Sin doesn't do anything insane and steal it. And our jungle will be really upset and rage quit. And then we can all walk back to bot together. And one of the easy reasons we know is because, you know, wave meets here on their side of the lane. So that means it's going to push towards us, which means we have no immediate pressure to fix the wave. And if you don't know what fix the wave means, it means influence the wave in such a way that you will not lose minions. Okay, so if I pause here and I leave like this, I will lose 5 minions. Not good. Like basically no one touches anything, I will lose 5 minions. Therefore, I need to quote unquote fix the wave. Okay, and the way you fix this is you're gonna reset the wave by shoving it into the tower. Right, you gotta crash. Okay, fixing the wave basically means you gotta crash it into the enemy tower, and sometimes it's unfixable. But I would say that will happen when enemy jungle is bot and your jungle is not here, and or you got fucked 2v2 so hard that you can't play the game. Okay, those are kind of the times where it's unfixable. Okay, so here we're gonna base. We're out of resources. I'm gonna ward. I'm gonna go home probably. Right, I don't know why I'm not recalling the bush. This is kind of trolling. Oh, I'm baiting. I'm sorry. I'm baiting the Zac here for the 3v3. I'm taking infinite damage, but Heimerdinger did in fact get baited, and Jin and Lee Sin are not here, so we're gonna crash and go home. Yes, we did not make Jin lose CS and gold because this is not a dive angle. Azir and Lee Sin can easily counter this, but we are farming the Heimerdinger money, which is still good. Okay, still good. So here we got Static. If you didn't know, I am a big lover of Static. Static is one of the most OP items in the game, and they buffed it, which makes it even more OP. I do not know why they buffed it, because now they're immediately nerfing it. But that's fine, because Static, for our purposes, is important in the sense that we can clear the wave with 1 Q plus Static proc. Okay, you can clear the range creeps with 1 Q plus Static proc. Memorize this, because it's important for you to know this when it comes to clearing the waves perfectly. Okay, so here's a little easy piece of information. You want to stack headshot, and then you want to have headshot after you clear every wave. Okay, and I ulti the Jhin because we're poke. Remember, our matchup is poke. If I had a Leona or a Braum, I would probably not do that. Okay, I'll be less likely to do that. Okay, anyways. The static is important for you. You won't see me doing it now. It's going to be more important later, but you should always practice this when you get static. Is kill the wave in such a way that you have headshot at the end. So what I do is practice static, auto attack until I have headshot, and then press Q, kill everything. Okay. So here you saw me rotating to the Herald, but it was gone. Also, that was a bad Q. Remember, we want to make sure we have headshot ready. But 4 is okay. 4 is okay. 5 is really good. Having 5 stacks is really good, and having headshot is ideal. Okay. Sometimes you want to play a little trick late game. You can have 5 stacks instead of 6, and then you can 5-6 them, meaning use your auto tag to get the 6 stack and then headshot them. So here, this is a classic tank tower, and then immediately net. Oh yeah, they ended up killing him. So okay, this is a mechanical thing you guys probably can't do, but a very common Caitlyn pattern at the enemy tower. By the way, you'll note that they have no Lee Sin or Heimerdinger here, so we should try and dive, or we should try and do something, flex on him 2v1. So the mechanic here is you start with headshot, you headshot them, and and then you immediately net them to get out of tower range because they will react because they think you're tanking tower. And then remember, every time you net, you must trap. I don't know if you guys are new to the channel or what, but the most important combo in Caitlyn's kit is not EQ, it's EW. Okay, EQ is literally when they're fucking intermediate AI and they don't move and they play like they stunned for 5 seconds in a row. No, humans will dodge EQ most of the time unless they're stunned. EW is the giga playmaking no matter what rank you're at. Okay, so anytime you net, you must trap. Okay, I don't care what rank you are, you must trap. Okay. So yeah, you can always find a good trap with EW because you're committing a net, you're already making a play, so you should make a second play on top of that. Okay, so yeah, we EW'd him, and then he did not know there was a trap, so he just died, right? So as you can see, this works at 400 LP. I don't care what rank you are, unless you're higher than 400 LP. This will work on everyone you play against. EW, they will never see it coming. Okay, so we saw them run into our jungle. Oh yeah, oftentimes you should update your information. One of the ways to, if you guys have trouble looking at understanding what's going on the map in order to make decisions, the easiest habit I can give you is, this is a new wave. Look at the map to see what you're supposed to do on this new wave. Okay, let me give you an example. On this new wave, I know we're a little late into laning phase because I'm about to take the tower, but let's use this as an example, okay? Enemy support is dead, so it's just going to be enemy ADC plus enemy jungle plus, not sure about mid, about Prowl, and then enemy top TP behind us. So this is what we're thinking, okay? On this wave, if you try and put, as you're playing these 30 seconds, this is what you should be thinking about, okay? Where the enemy team is at. First is support, then jungle, then mid Prowl, then top TP, okay? And or top global like Pantheon. Don't get caught by like Pantheon ulti from base or something crazy, or Kled ulti from base, okay? And so that's exactly how you should be thinking about every single wave in League of Legends. Is on this timer, on these 30 seconds, what can they do? And the game is split into 30 seconds, 30-second increments, okay? Because once this wave is gone, now it's the next wave. Okay, on the next wave, what are they gonna do, right? And this wave I'm basing, right? But yeah, you get the point. Okay, so now that we're strong, we're entering into the mid game, and then earlier I said we're gonna talk about what it's gonna take to hit masters. So if you're diamond-ish and you are not masters, the requirements you need in order to consistently win games and get to masters is 1, no disaster in laning phase. 2, you have a proper mid game where you're not starting any 4v5s or joining 4v5s, right? Like if you join the fight, it's still 4v5. That's a no-go. 3, you should have accumulated enough money to carry. You need to know how to carry with your champion. So for us, we need to play the mid game properly and then carry with our champion, right? And to play the mid game properly, you need to make maximum amount of income to get to the point where you can carry with the money. This ulti was bad because I just wasted it on his crown. I don't think I saw that, but that was a little bit troll. Don't do that. Okay, so again, one way you can look at these waves, okay? The way you look at these waves is, this is on these 30 seconds. What is it looking like on these 30 seconds? Okay, so it looks like enemy jungle can come from bot side, top side. Enemy ADC did not path into the river, so he based, which means it is unlikely for them to make a play on you mid, but it's possible. So the best play possible is Heimer Lee Sin from this bush, okay? So you see how like we can come to these conclusions, and then we look top, Zach's trying to like make a play. You see how we can like come to these conclusions before the wave meets. This is the secret sauce. Before the wave meets, you must know what is going on these 30 seconds, okay? So you can see me, I'm like, okay, kind of hovering bot side because that's the top side is the direction Lee Sin and Heimer are going to come from. Okay, and again, you see me like wasting headshot on the wave. You should, in fact, have headshot after every single wave. Okay, that should be your default. Make it a habit, because headshot is your playmaking at all stages of the game. You saw me use it in laning phase for me to headshot Jhin on their tower and or use it their trade. Okay, so it doesn't matter how early into the game it is or how late. Oh, later is your GG, right? Later is how you carry the game. You need to make sure you're doing this. Okay, so I don't know what they're doing, but again, we want to trade and they want to poke catch. The fact that they are walking up for us to do damage, to trade back with them, they're like hella trolling, right? As you can see, in this 2v2 mid lane situation, the 2v2 dynamic is actually the exact same, with just some nuance from solo lane priority. Okay, the solo lane priority being Akali's pushed up, we can look for a dive. Aatrox pushed up, we can look for a dive, or vice versa. Enemy solos are pushed up, they're looking to gank us on the mid push, right? So, it's the exact same thing in lane. You just after level 6, and then jungles in solo priority. Okay, here I'm just going for some cheeky EQ ideas, But yeah. But yeah, if you ever have any questions, you should definitely say something in the comments. I will respond pretty much to all questions in the comments for this video. Also, I bind my dance to like my joke to mouse button 4. I'm trying to get a 360 no scope BM. Here we see that there's a fight going bot side, but the fight's already over, so you just take mid tower, right? You don't want to join this, whatever the hell this is. Just hit the tower, guys, because it's free. And then runes, we didn't really talk about runes too much or build, so I'll just go over it now. But it's gonna be a lethal temple. I take presence of mind. Then it's always alacrity. I think bloodline is too weak to take. And then it's almost always cut down unless they have no front line. And then after that, it's always absolute focus gathering storm for you to get the scaling damage. 80 is very important on Caitlyn. So for you to be able to 1v9 late game, gathering storm is a must. Okay, absolute focus gathering storm, very important. I know it's very tempting to take free boots, but if you are really, I like I said, the game ends in 10-15 minutes. If you agree with this statement, you will take the boots. Okay, I just take absolute focus gathering storm in those cases where the game goes longer than 15 minutes. Okay. Anyways, build is gonna be if you need a wave. Okay, so static, we build static when we are against lanes that can pressure us by pushing. So stuff like Heimerdinger and stuff. I don't know what this guy's doing. He's just dead. Also, you'll notice that this is how you get the headshot on the wave. Okay, so check this out. I'm gonna show you right now. So this is very important starting from the mid game, but you should do it in laning phase after you have static shift. Okay, so auto attack. Use the proc. And then auto attack. Oh well, I guess it was. I guess I just had it. I guess I just had it. But yeah, usually we'll just right click until we have enough, and then press Q. Okay. But there it was just really simple. Anyways, the build is static shiv against these hard to play against lanes like Ezreal, Karma, pretty much anything with a range support. You just take static shiv. Okay. And then collector comes after Duskblade. Sorry. It's a shiv, Duskblade. Collector, Lord Doms, then BT, and then you sell boots for rapid fire, and then you can sell static for Stormrazor. But I'm actually not 100% sure on that, so I need to test that more. Okay, so there's some mechanical ideas that you guys probably understand, but I haven't perfected quite yet. But this whole sequence was basically we're starting Herald. Okay, so our team is focusing on Herald. We should play towards Herald's side, right? So you can see me moving towards Herald. And then the instant I see this Lee Sin Q, you should be thinking Insec. Okay, so anytime you're like running around the mid game, you should know their best engage possible. So that's like Heimer ulti nade. It's gonna be Lee Sin Q Warhop kick with flash included. So you should play like it's coming. Okay, so I'm playing like it's coming. Right? And then Azir is going to go for his Insec with his ulti. So there's 2 Insec. And then third Q, Cassante right here. He's going to try and kidnap you. Okay, so the instant they take this, you should have a plan ready. And you should take the fastest plan possible. Okay, I don't know if you guys have talked about this before, but you would not net a Lee Sin Insec, for example. You would flash it, right? So stuff like that. Okay, so don't let him kidnap you. Well, I ran far enough that the kidnap was not very good. And then the rest of this, they is like kind of auto loss for them, right? So yeah, and then we can go back after we kill them. Remember, it's the same thing after you kill them in laning phase. You need to figure out what you need to do. After you kill them in the mid game, you need to figure out what to do. So here it's either doing the Herald or doing chickens, and then we can base. Okay, so here we push the wave. We should honestly just do Herald. I think I'm just trying to flex on them. Sorry, I'm drinking some water. So yeah, I'm just keeping the mid prowl here. Oh yeah, one thing you should do is make sure the static hits all the minions. Here I wasted it because one minion was like further up than the others. But that's just some nuance you'll figure out when you play more static ideas. Here just push and base, right? One idea is that you should base when enemy spawning has like 8 seconds, so you can be there at be on the map at the same time as them. They can't like bush cheese you running straight into your jungle or something like that. But honestly, I would not worry about that if I were you, unless you're like they're doing some like sneaky ideas somehow. I've not really seen that in a very long time. Probably because I've been pissed low for the last 2 years or what. But anyways, you can see we're giga ahead here. The idea is now just honestly, this game is over. This is not losable. But for you guys where you guys are thinking, oh, I still lose from this spot, literally just AFK until you have flash again, and then you make sure you stack headshot, and then you clear every mid wave, and then you headshot the closest guy. Like, that's it. Okay. You can ulti this guy too, like he's doing infinite damage, right? Do the headshot trick I told you guys, where you auto attack until you have headshot, right? I'm really just, this is my first game of the day apparently, but I'm figuring it out, right? Make sure you have headshot. This guy's insecting me. I'm griefing, but it'll be okay because I think this is I think solos can come carry this, right? Let's see. Remember, I don't know, Aatrox is not moving, but it's probably fine, right? Akali has something here. Potentially. So yeah, there, like I said, you're supposed to AFK into our Flash because their best engage was extremely strong between Lee Sin and Azir into like Jin or some like Heimer poke into Jin W. But yeah, definitely a mistake by me. On the mid wave, again, let's examine this, right? On the mid wave, we should say what is their strongest engage, okay? So on this mid wave, if you'll notice, the first thing we do is jungle and solos. So on this wave, what do we see? Enemy solo was Azir. He pushed in and he can come. And then enemy is, I don't know who this was, probably K'Sante. He can come. So this is a 3v5 unless our solos want to, I don't know if they have TP. If they want to FF their wave and TP mid. And then, yeah, and then Lee Sin obviously is always anywhere. Jungle OP, by the way. Lee Sin always is available to go for a play here. So therefore, they are best engaged, looking like Azir with Flash. Lee Sin, no Flash, I think. Or it could be Flash. I haven't been keeping track of the sums. And then K'Sante maybe Flash. You see why, like, oh, we can't really play the game on this wave because they have all this Giga engage. So I should have just not tried to contest the wave. I should have pretended to contest the wave, make them move to me and run. Okay, but I actually contested the wave. I actually touched the wave, okay? So yeah, you want to make them move to you, but you don't actually want them to kill you, which is what happened here, okay? I wanted them to move to me, but I didn't want them to actually kill me. And you see, it's exactly as we said. The solos had prowl, therefore they came mid, behind us, you know, one through this side, and K'Sante from behind, and it's telegraphed. You can actually figure this out on every single wave. I'm not joking. You can literally figure this out on every single wave. Okay? So every time a new wave is coming in, you must, in the mid game, you must look to your solo prowl. Okay? In laning phase, it's find enemy jungle and mid prowl. Okay? But yeah, out of laning phase, it's both solos. Okay? So here, I'm just gonna fast forward because this is pretty much all just we're just chilling until it's time to fight for an objective. Just make sure you're getting every wave mid, right? Make sure you get every single CS. And then here is actually a bit awkward here because I did not start with headshot. And you'll notice that when I hit this Azir, it's not really doing anything. It's because Caitlyn auto attacks are fake. They exist to stack your headshot. Okay, the real playmaking is the headshot and Q and R with this build, right? So here, so you should always be conscious if you make sure if you want to use your headshot or not, your passive headshot or not. It's very important to use it correctly because if you don't, you're hard griefing. And that's why Lethal Tempo is really good, is because if you're fighting against frontline with this build and you have Dark Harvest, after you use your headshot, it's gonna take you forever to get your headshot back. You're gonna waste that. You will have no choice but to use headshots sometimes on the front line. And without Lethal Tempo, it's gonna take longer to get that headshot back. Okay, so I know I love Dark Harvest, guys, but some games it is just not going to work. In this game, they had a K'Sante. So honestly, I'm default Lethal Tempo every game. Okay, but if they had no frontline whatsoever, I'm down to Dark Harvest. Okay, but sometimes I'm still not down to Dark Harvest. You know what I mean? I feel like you cannot go wrong with Lethal Tempo, but you can't go wrong with Dark Harvest. Here I had Flash ready for this. It was just my first game of the day, so I just didn't Flash. I don't know. Don't worry about that. That's just some like I'm just fucking around. Okay. Okay, let's examine the fights here. Okay, so let's watch this fight. Always Q on trap, if you didn't know. Anytime they trap, you must Q first. If you auto-attack first, you'll miss the Q timing. And then on the Azir engage, we prepare flash, right? So the trick there is you need to know before you see him show up on the screen, and or this is actually a good trick. Where did Azir come from? He came from mid. Where did Lee Sin come from? He's coming from behind them, okay? So K'Sante kidnap from front, Lee Sin kidnap from front, Azir insect from the right, and Heimer engage nade from behind here, okay? And that's how you should be structuring these fights, is knowing what is enemy hard CC engage, and two, where is it coming from? If you can answer these two questions, you are allowed to walk up and do whatever you want, okay? So that's what's going on here, okay? So as long as you're like, okay, I have flash for Azir engage, and then I look at Heimer and Lee Sin, I saw the kick, and then we flash it, GG. Okay, the Zero traded his ulti for his death, I guess. So, or for my flash and his death. And then the rest of this is just GG, okay? And then what you'll see here is how once you're strong. I know you guys get to this point a lot in your gold, platinum, diamond games. There you have games where you have a lot of kills. You ask, how do we carry with this? It's every play starts with a headshot, a net, or a trap. I cannot emphasize this enough. Every play in the mid game and late game starts with a trap, a net, or a headshot. So in this case, this starts with a headshot. Okay, the reason being is because these are the things that do damage. Okay, in the game. So headshot into ulti, he's just dead. Okay, this is how strong we are. Okay, but I cannot emphasize this enough. If you did a regular auto attack, you're not gonna kill him there, right? Despite the fact that you're 11-3. You have to use what your champion. You have to make sure you know when your champion is strong. Caitlyn is strongest when she has her passive headshot and she has a net play ready. And every net must come with a trap. And every trap must come with some kind of animation cancel, like Q or auto attack, or you know what I mean? Okay, that's like, don't worry about that for now, okay? But like, you get what I mean, right? It's, you chain these habits together. Okay, let's examine more fighting here. Again, you need to make sure that you want you're playing around headshot here. Okay, so we're like moving to this bot lane fight. I mean, I don't really care how it goes, but what I want you guys to do is play this slow and just get your headshot ready, watching enemy engage, and just take it slow. And what you'll see me do here is I'm not gonna rush it. I'm just gonna chill, take it slow, get a headshot. And then everything is clear. Walk forward and make my positioning better. Stack headshot and start playing the game. That was really bad that I headshot that cannon there, by the way. So yeah, as you can see here, I'm making a lot of mistakes in this game. Okay, this is a lot of mistakes. As you can see here, I'm like, sometimes I'm not trapping when I'm netting. Sometimes I'm wasting headshot. Sometimes I'm not stacking headshot on minions. Okay, so it's very important for you guys to work on these habits. Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know. This guy's just dead. I'm just giga fed. It's very important for you guys to work on these mechanical habits so you can be more effective than me, honestly, in game. These are all important mistakes. I think it's just the end of the game now, but oh yeah, we just died one more time for fun. Here's an example here. So here, let's use this as an example as headshot stacking before we end the video. The video kind of fast. All right, 37 minutes, fast. But here I did red buff until I have headshot, dump headshot, get headshot on these little shitters, and then we can play the game. Okay. If I push this, I will be getting headshot, right? So I'm gonna auto attack 6 times. Look, boom, boom, boom. Okay, I don't know what the hell I'm doing here, but I'm actually hella trolling here. It really was. Okay, here we go. 6. Perfect. Okay, I headshot the fucking Raptors, guys. You should always have headshot at all times, okay? I'm not even joking. I don't know what is going on here, but I'm actually griefing my headshot every time. But yeah, maybe this wasn't the best example, but hopefully you guys learned something from it. And hopefully you guys learned something on the idea of laning phase and or what it takes to hit masters and or some Caitlyn ideas. Here's a very important Caitlyn idea. I told you Caitlyn auto attack is fake. So after I headshot him, the most important thing is to land a trap or a net or ideally both. So here I'm doing this and he's getting away. If you right click him, he will literally walk away. What do you need to do? You need to land trap and or net. So instead of using the time to auto attack, remember it's 4 auto attacks to headshot. That's not happening anytime soon. Instead of using the time to auto attack, use the time to run with him to land a better trap and or net. Okay, so what you'll see here is I stopped auto attacking to run forward to land a better net and trap. I'll show it to you one more time. Look, we're just playing in full. Headshot, run with him in order to hit this net and or trap. Boom. Once you hit it, after trap, then you play EQ or QE, okay? Doesn't matter. And then if you do EQ, then it's EWQ, or sorry, you shouldn't do EWQ, you should just do EQ. If you do QE, you can do QEW, whatever, okay? It's just trying to chain more traps into net. And then, oh, this is really funny. Okay, so this is the power of headshot. You can flash headshot play is available. Once you pass level 13, you have a reasonable amount of crit. You can flash headshot. Second thing is, when you kill someone with flash headshot, your Duskblade procs and they actually can't target you, okay? It's really funny. So this guy, I literally just tower dove 2 towers, and then Azir literally couldn't do damage to me, okay? All that damage is like tower damage. And it's really funny, okay? So once you start learning how to do damage with Caitlyn, you'll know exactly when you kill them. Static shift kill that Azir is pretty funny. You know exactly when you kill them, which means the instant you kill them, stop so that you can use your Duskblade. Here I got prepared headshot, correct? And then headshot instantly kill Lee Sin, right? So yeah, that was pretty much the video. I know I made a lot of mistakes, but even with a lot of mistakes, we went 21-5 with 9.5 CS a minute, okay? But if there are any big takeaways, it's that copy this build to a T. Lethal Tempo, absolute focus, Gathering Storm, take Alacrity, take Ghost Flash. I know Ghost is getting nerfed soon. Maybe we'll take Exhaust, maybe we take Ghost still. Maybe we go back to heal. I don't like that. Maybe we take Cleanse. And then the other thing is you can copy the build exactly. This doesn't change at all. You can honestly go static first every game if you really want to. Collective first is good in games where it's like all in versus all in. You don't need the wave clear from static, but I digress. Make sure that you are playing the matchup correctly. You identify what your support and what their support wants to do. You identify where the wave wants to be for both supports. If you need me to make an entire video telling you guys how that looks like with all these different types of supports, let me know in the comments below. And then with that information, you execute on it. Like let's say you need the wave under the tower. You got to push. Okay, you got to use auto attack on cooldown. Sometimes use abilities on the wave. And then let's say you're like trading, make sure you get your trading pattern ready. If I'm playing Jhin, I get ready for my stack my 4-shot. If I'm playing Misfortune, make sure my Q is ready. Playing Caitlyn, stack my headshot. I'm playing Ezreal, make sure my W is ready. You know how it is. Playing Kaiser, make sure my Q is ready. If you guys are playing like again with all in and or catch, don't use those abilities so that when my support all ins or catches them, they're ready. You know, that kind of stuff. That's execution. And then use that to draw enemy jungle bot. Don't die to create a jungle diff. Okay. And if your jungle still loses after you create jungle diff, it's not your fault. Game was over. Okay. And then after you have that lead or minimized enemy lead and landing phase, you go into the mid game, you get every single way possible to create as much money as possible, so that with this money you can carry fights by watching enemy engage, knowing where it's coming from, watching solo prowl so you don't get caught mid, and then make sure you know how to do your damage. In this case is the Caitlyn lethality build. So you stack headshot before every fight by clearing the wave correctly. Just right click until you can Q when your headshot is ready, and then we didn't talk too much about other mechanics, but EW. Okay, every time you net, you must trap. So yeah, honestly, not too much material for you guys to work on just from this video, but hopefully you guys learned something. I know it's 40 minutes long, but I probably spat out a bunch of stuff at you guys, and if you need clarification or more examples or more maybe more like shorter videos / less information, let me know. Okay, but I guarantee you, if you watch this video, you will have learned something. If just that I have a 49% win rate on Caitlyn on this account. Okay, so thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.